to another episode of SandchessVB. Today we have another series, the first episode of Mind Games, and we will start with the attacker. And as usual, we will have, oh, that's quite big, we will have an outline and potentially visuals with my homegrown tool. It could be yours for a small price. Let me get through my outline, and here we go. I am starting with the attacker, and by the way, you can probably watch the episodes in a different order, but I'm starting with the attacker because it's the first one in the sequence of a point, if you exclude the serve, but the serve is its own beast. So what we have, we're gonna need a good pass, guys. No, I'm not gonna lie, I'm not gonna hide that to you. You're not gonna be able to play amazing mind games where you shank the ball into the ocean or the lake. So we're gonna need a good pass, and after that there are a number of things that can be done right after passing and before the set is released, as the set is released, and even until you contact the ball. And then there are some mind games throughout the whole game, based on what you've already accomplished. So these are the points I want to talk about, and we are starting. I guess I have an abstract here, so yeah, let me paraphrase this. Essentially, once you're done with your pass, and the pass is good, there's essentially a decision tree that you could follow all the way until you contact the ball. And that is if you want to play mind games. If you just want a high set and hit it hard around the block, you don't have to do mind games. But if you need other tricks like me when you're short and old, then here is my 2 cents. So the first thing that I try to do, again after a good pass, is I will try, so I see where the pass is, I see where my setter is, and depending on that I will decide to exaggerate an approach. So here we are, again my homegrown tool with the offense on the bottom and the defense on the top. And let's see, if I have, let's say, a pass here, let's just say a pass here. I get my setter to get to it. And as he's getting to it, in this case it's pretty far, not pretty far, but it's pretty inside, I can exaggerate. So the thing is, the first 2 bullets is exaggerate an angle to make the other team believe into something. So I will exaggerate my approach. So if the ball is a little bit to my inside, I will exaggerate the approach so that I'm facing just about the cut shot and just about as much room as I can to still be able to put a little bit of pace. And I want that my first goal is to make that defender move somewhere in front of me. So if I do this, ideally I want him to be in the middle of that triangle or that cone, and if he's there, then suddenly, if he moves all the way up, then suddenly I have a lot of room to play with on the other side of the court. A lot of room. And let's get the block. Nope, not this one, not this one, this one. So suddenly I have a lot of room to play with, a lot of room where very unlikely he's not going to be able to get to. So that would be if I bait him to line up to my approach in cheating towards the cut shot, well then I will wrist away. I don't even need that good of a shot because probably I don't need this anymore, but I'll take one of those. If I can get to just something like this, doesn't have to be crossed to any of the lines. It's very hard. It's going to be very hard for the defender to react and get to it. That said, he don't want to overcomplexify things, but he might be playing my mind games and making me believe that he took the bait. But I'm not going to start discussing who's bluffing at what level. We might do that one day, but not right now. So if he takes my bait to that cut shot, then that opens me the court quite a bit. Similarly, if we remove this, if I have an approach, sorry, a pass that is, let me attach that, a pass that is someone in front of me like this, let's just say I pass like this, then that's a little bit exaggerated. Instead of taking a standard approach and hopefully meet, so let me extend that setter. Okay, like that. So hopefully the setter delivers something like this. I might choose to do a non-academic approach again and run straight in front of me, which again is not the best approach for a righty on the right side. That would be something like this. Something like that would be best. So I'm going to exaggerate and ask for something like this, or well, I'm going to ask for a call for the set straight up or middle or something, and then I can also see what's his approach, what pass he's taking, and I can be out of his way, or he can be out of my way when I get to my approach. And here I want this guy, the defender, to take the bait and start cheating line. That way it opens the zone toward the cut shot. So here. It will open the zone somewhere. That zone is suddenly now quite far for him to get to. So if I can get this bait going, then I can, same thing, wrist away, but this time to my right side. And again, I don't need that good of a shot because he's starting from far away. What else? So these are some baits that you can do with the approach. The third bullet point, now you can, until then, we don't even know exactly what set we're getting. But now, once we do, let's say you wanted a bull somewhere there, but suddenly the bull is here because I don't know, wind, sun. He did not execute very well. Well, that gives you an additional opportunity to convey that you want to go, in that case, cut. So if that first bait didn't work, whatever you were doing, now you may have another chance at exploiting that slightly out of position set. And in this case, I'll be glad to come in something like this, and hopefully this time he does take the bait. Okay, so that's like exploiting that set. They can do similar things with the set to be too far to your left, though a little harder for a righty. Now another thing than my fourth bullet is, again, we have a good pass and a decent set, but nothing has worked, or I didn't have time to exaggerate an approach. But either I couldn't create a bait or it didn't work. I can still have one more tool in my bag, and it is to look at the defender, kind of maybe slow down just a tad, enough that I could, not too much, so that I could still power hit it if needed, and not arm really far back my right arm as I'm taking my jump. Keep the arm low and hope that he thinks I'm going short. The second he steps forward, I can do a jumbo. We don't need this, we need this. I can do a jumbo. Well, better is going to be with that one. I can do a jumbo like this, and once he stepped up, it's really hard to backpedal and get that ball. So the opportunity I do to create that jumbo opening is to keep my arm not fully armed, pretty low, and even you could even start curling your finger to pretend you're about to poke it short. So maybe he will take that bait, and again, all I need really is one step. The minute there is one step, unless he's really tall and he can just extend his arm, the jumbo should sink through. Okay. So now, if none of those have worked, now there could still be a chance with the previous baits. If nothing really worked, well, first of all, well, that's 0.3, but I'll just say it right there. If you exaggerate an approach and nobody takes any of those baits, you can just execute that, because now suddenly it's the easier play. Anyway, I just wanted to not forget. Once you're about to hit, and let me shorten this, so we are almost there, about to hit. Okay, about to hit. If the blocker took a half bait, well, then maybe now there is either a way to tool him. So let's see, will that do anything? There is maybe a way to tool him if you turn, because now there is a reference line. There is some options. So sure, you may not have full power, but maybe you still can, and then maybe you can tool him. There's a lot of opportunity to tool, or you could still exploit that half space. So either way, there might be a little bit more room there now if the blocker took a half bait. Okay, and if nothing else, nothing has worked, and you did really try to sell to them to a cut shot, just what I was saying, well, then you can just do that. It's straight in front of you. You should be able to do something there. And if he's waiting in the cross, and the blocker is really taking line, not caring about your approach, well then maybe this still goes through. So that is essentially the decision tree that I go down, that I follow every time I have a good pass. Of course, I want to keep my windows open to power hit if possible, and I might not be able to run down all those options if not everything is perfect. So I'm not saying every time, every point you can do all of that, but this is ideal. And if not, try to incorporate 1 or 2 or 3, and keep your hits alive. Because if not, then you'll have to deal with the peeling, retreating blocker, and your shots are less effective when there's only when there are 2 guys chasing balls down. Okay. So yeah, that's what I was saying here. If after all this you can still hit, then good for you. That's always hitting hard, even if it's at the defender. It's just never a bad play. Of course, it better be a decently well hit spike. Anyway, then we have something of the overall game. After the other team understands that you're hitting away from where you're looking, if that's how you got a few more points, well, if you notice that they don't take your baits and they start to think and overthink, then maybe you actually don't do the bait and just hit in front of you. Just hit in front of you. If they're expecting you to turn, well then there you go. We're essentially back into that situation where they are not taking any baits. Now they are not taking any baits because they've seen you. So you can start mixing and matching. I remember some games where I was turning as much as possible, and then there was one point where I couldn't. Average pass, average set. I'm late to the ball. I just gave like a weak sauce ball, but the defender was always that figured out that he needed to react and probably anticipate away from where I was looking, that even that one scored. So anyway, this is my offensive or attacker's mind game. Feel free to add any comments and discuss any other situations. Feel free to like, subscribe, send me millions, and don't forget to play beach volleyball as a chess game. Thank you. I forget, I got some drills. Don't forget to check them out down there.